Good afternoon, distinguished representatives from ASEAN, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us today for our seminar entitled Japan's Cooperation for ASEAN Decarbonization Towards the ASEAN-Japan GST Report. We are honored to welcome all of you, including many high-level representatives from ASEAN member states. To begin our seminar, it is my great pleasure to invite His Excellency Mr. Ishihara Hirotaka, Minister of the Environment of Japan, to deliver the opening remarks. Mr. Ishihara, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, distinguished ministers from ASEAN member states and all participants. I sincerely appreciated your presence and participation in today's side event at the Japan Pavilion. Climate action is an urgent global challenge for all humanity. As a Paris Agreement enters its implemental phase, putting decarbonization into practice becomes crucial. In September, I revised the strategic program for ASEAN climate and environment. Our so-called space was agreed upon at the ASEAN-Japan ministerial dialogue on the environment on the climate change. In the update program, it was indicated that the ASEAN countries and Japan would collaborate and prepare a report as an input to the second global stock takes at the COP30. Today's event marks the kickoff of this initiative. Ahead of the kickoff, it is my honor to share Japan's initiative to address climate change to 2025 with all of you here today. These initiatives represented Japan's contribution to the three pillars of the synergies, solutions, and transparency that are crucial for advancing the ambition cycle under the Paris Agreement toward decarbonization in Asia and around the world. First, on the synergies, developing blue carbon ecosystems and adaptation business that contribute to climate change mitigation and biodiversity conservation. Promoting cooperation disclosure of the information on the climate, nature, and circularity. Global Circularity Protocol for the business was just launched at this Japan Pavilion last week. Second, on the solution. Utilizing the Joint Credit Mechanism, or JCM, I'm pleased to issue the first JCM ITOMOS that as a credit to be used as a part of achieving 2030's NDC target with Thailand. Promoting new technologies such as perovskite solar cells and hydrogen. Third, on the transparency, enhancing and improving greenhouse gas and inventories through the utilization of the advanced observation technologies such as GOSAT-GW. Japan has announced its intention to host a session of the IPCC in 2027. I also encompassed today's theme, creating a report on the growing toward not net zero with all of you. From ASEAN and Japan, let us present to the global community a robust model that successfully achieves decarbonization and economic growth at the same time. One last thing, Japan welcomed over 29 million global visitors to Osaka Kansai Expo this year. I would like to invite you all to Green Expo 2027 in Yokohama. One of the focus will be climate change. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your insightful remarks. At this time, we'd like to invite all distinguished speakers and guests to the front for the commemorative photograph. So please come to the stage. For the first photograph, we would like to, we will pose in the usual manner. And then for the second, we'd like to take an ASEAN style photo that crossing hands in front. So the first photograph, so the normal, the usual manner. Okay, then the ASEAN style photo. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, then we will move to the statement from ASEAN high-level representatives. We are deeply grateful that to have high-level participants from ASEAN with us today. This seminar seeks to highlight ongoing Japan-ASEAN cooperation to invite your engagement in the preparation of the forthcoming report, the ASEAN-Japan report on growing towards net zero as an input to the second GST, and to gather your valuable perspectives on current GST-related efforts and future directions. May we now kindly invite each of the distinguished representatives here with us today to offer brief remarks, about 2 or 3 minutes each, on your expectations for the report and suggestions for the way forward. First, I'd like to invite the representative of Singapore, Her Excellency Ms. Grace Fu, Minister for the Sustainability and the Environment, to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Minister Ishihara, for calling for this meeting. Singapore has always appreciated Japan's role in having as a dialogue partner to ASEAN, in helping ASEAN build out capability, as well as, in the area of environmental protection, helping the region to be a lot more resilient, including in climate action as well. So I'd like to really thank you also to prepare us for the ASEAN-Japan GST report that will be submitted as an input to the next GST. We strongly support the global stocktake as a critical mechanism for assessing our collective progress in identifying a pathway to keep 1.5 degrees within reach. Singapore 2035 NDC was informed by the outcome of the first GST. We have responded by accelerating, quadrupling our solar deployment, achieving our 2025 target of 1.5 gigawatt peak ahead of schedule. We're also supporting efforts to transition away from fossil fuels in energy systems and phase out inefficient fossil fuel subsidies. To future-proof our energy system, we require new fossil fuel generation units to be at least 30% hydrogen-ready by volume, with the ability to be retrofitted to become 100% hydrogen-ready in future. We are working closely with our ASEAN neighbors to advance the ASEAN power grid, the cornerstone of the region's clean energy future. The ASEAN power grid can help the region to decarbonize at the faster pace and potentially at lower costs through resource complementarity and economies of scale. In addition, our newly established Singapore Energy Interconnections can help to catalyze regional infrastructure development that benefits all participating countries. As a trusted financial hub, Singapore has been able to mobilize climate finance through our blended finance platform, PaSTI for short, which targets to raise a total of $5 billion for marginally bankable green and transition projects. We recently achieved first close with US $510 million, which will go towards critical infrastructure projects in Asia, including renewable energy and storage systems and electric vehicle infrastructure. There are also intentions to look at second and third pillar in transition, helping early retirement of coal plants to transit out of coal, as well as to help hard-to-abate sectors to mitigate carbon emissions. The second GST must translate ambition into accountability, and Singapore looks forward to contributing our regional experiences and lessons learned to the ASEAN-Japan report, ensuring it provides practical pathways for achieving our shared net zero goals while supporting sustainable development across all our region. And once again, I would like to thank host Japan, Minister Ishihara, for organizing this event, very meaningful task, and also to help ASEAN and Japan look at the way forward for the second GST. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your powerful data remarks. Then next, I'd like to invite the representative of Indonesia, Mr. Aris Dijant, Deputy Minister of Climate Change and Carbon Economic Value Governance. So, floor yours.
Thank you. Excellencies, Minister, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to congratulate and appreciate the effort made by Japan and ASEAN for initiating collaboration toward the second global stocktake. We do aware that global stocktake is a process for countries, parties, and other stakeholders to perceive the collective progress whenever the country party is able to meet the requirement of the Paris Agreement. Japan, in collaboration with ASEAN, both hand in hand, encourage the effort of regional action to respond to the immediate and the first GST by compiling the concept of ASEAN economic growth model through decarbonization as an input to the following GST. In this regard, Indonesia would support this effort and strongly emphasize that the impact of this collaboration would be beyond the reporting. It would be appreciated if during the processes, there will be a mutual learning and sustainable impact in attracting potential other collaboration, investment, technologies, and carbon markets among ASEAN and non-ASEAN countries. We also encourage the engagement of national experts and stakeholders during the analysis of process to Indonesia has huge potential of expertise and experiences. I thank you.
Thank you very much for your remarks. So then we'd like to invite the next presenter. Next, I'd like to invite the Timor-Leste, Mr. Adao Suarez Barbosa, Special Envoy Ambassador at Large for Climate Affairs. So floor is yours.
Thank you very much, honorable ministers. First of all, let me, on behalf of the government of Timor-Leste, to express our sincere thanks to the government of Japan through Your Excellency Minister for hosting this very important event here at COP30. Excellencies, distinguished delegates and colleagues, for Timor-Leste, we consider that the next global stocktake, how to fill the gap and how to move forward, but we need to be together and to have a collective actions on emission reduction target by 2050. So we are going to have zero net emission by 2050 to ensure that 1.5 degrees Celsius within the reach. Excellencies, among ASEAN, let me express my sincere gratitude to the ASEAN membership for supporting Timor-Leste to be part of the ASEAN. And of course, Japan as our partners with ASEAN to take actions not only with mitigation on climate change, but also broader issues of development. But in terms of regional collaboration with regard to emission reduction target by 2050, Timor-Leste is fully engaged to come up with low carbon development path without any target within its nationally determined contribution. We are applying Article 4.6 of the Paris Agreement. which is inquiring the least developed countries and also small and developing states to communicate their respective actions, plans, and strategies on the low carbon development path. So we are ready to be working with our partners, especially from Japan and also other ASEAN members, to move together towards 1.5 degrees Celsius. And we also would like to see technology transfers from Japan and also from other ASEAN members to Timor-Leste. We can also share past experience toward together on the mitigation measures that will be also enabling us by ensuring no one left behind in our region to at least achieve 1.5 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. So with that, we are ready to be fully engaged with this partnership and also ASEAN membership to at least address real climate action with regard to mitigation issues. And apart from that, we also need to address loss and damage, adaptation, and also capacity building among us. For this, I think nothing else to be said. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to invite next presenter. Next, I'd like to invite the representative from Philippines, Ms. Nora Lingui, Assistant Secretary for Policy Planning, International Affairs, and Climate Change of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, DENR. So, yes.
Thank you very much. Minister Ishihara, Minister Fo, Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Philippine delegation, I thank the Ministry of Environment of Japan, IGES and NIS for convening this dialogue. It is an honor to join Japan and our fellow ASEAN member states as we contribute to the ASEAN-Japan report as input to the second global stocktake. Japan's leadership has long supported our region's capacity to implement the Paris Agreement, strengthening transparency systems, building institutional and technical capabilities for GHG inventories and MRV, advancing corporate disclosure through PaSTI, and expanding access to modern tools such as the Asia-Pacific Integrated Model or AAM. For the Philippines, these partnerships are deeply valued. While we have yet to develop our own AIM model, we recognize its importance for long-term planning and scenario analysis. We welcome the opportunity to engage with Japan, IGES, NIS on the idea of a Philippine AIM framework that aligns with our socio-economic context, national circumstances, and just transition priorities. As we look toward the second global stocktake, the Philippines reaffirms its commitment to support a robust ASEAN-Japan GST report, one that reflects our shared vulnerabilities, diverse development pathways, and the enabling role of climate finance, technology transfer, and capacity building. We also look forward to a report that highlights how credible transparency systems and quality data can drive real emission reductions and enable opportunities for further international collaboration. Allow me to emphasize 3 areas for deepened cooperation. First, sustain technical and financial support for strengthening MRV systems and GHG inventories across ASEAN. These are foundational for credible NDC implementation and future BTRs. Second, advancing corporate GHG reporting, especially for SMEs, through expanded PaSTI initiatives and user-friendly digital tools to ensure an inclusive economy-wide transition. Third, promoting just and equitable transition pathways that align climate ambition with energy security, national development plans, and livelihood protection. Excellencies and colleagues, the Philippines looks forward to contributing constructively to this partnership. Together, ASEAN and Japan can demonstrate how developed and developing countries can work side by side through finance, technology, capacity, and trust to advance credible, just, and ambitious climate action. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Then I'd like to invite the next presenter. Please welcome the representative from Vietnam, Mr. Luong Quang Phai, the head of the GHG Emission Management Division of the Department of. Okay, sorry. Okay, then we'd like to invite the representative from Lao PDR, that Dr. Bonwea Kampiravan, Deputy Director of Division, Department of Environment, Ministry of Agriculture and Environment. So floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure for being here. Firstly, I would like to express sincere thanks and appreciate for Japan Corporation contribute to our national target, particularly they contribute to support us to update our NDC, particularly for non-energy sector. More than this, they also contribute to develop the low carbon scenario for sub-national one, particularly for local Bang city. And hopefully, we will get more support to develop the low carbon scenario for another sub-national as well. And they also contribute to draft the long-term emission development strategy for us as well. And regarding for the carbon credit, particularly for JCM mechanism, right now we preparing national readiness, particularly for implementing the Article 6. So we hopefully for this bilateral mechanism can contribute to our target, particularly for the national target in 2050, and also this mechanism also can contribute to the target of the regional as well. For the Laos as the ASEAN member state, we also strongly support for the Japanese side for preparing for second GST report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So last but not least, we'd like to invite the representative from Brunei Darussalam, Mr. Zaiem Harbi, the Director of the Brunei Climate Change Office, the Prime Minister Office. So floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies, Ministers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. On behalf of the government of Brunei Darussalam, I'm very pleased to join Japan and our fellow ASEAN brothers and sisters in highlighting how far our cooperation has come, especially as we move towards the next global cycle of the stocktake. I'll also like to take the opportunity to welcome the newest member of the family, Timor-Leste, to the ASEAN brother and sisterhood, and look forward to more cooperation in the future. President Lula has kept reminding us that this is the COP of implementation. And as such, it is very important that our updated NDCs are reflective of the outcome of the last GST. I congratulate Japan and other AMS who have submitted their NDCs and urge others to do the same. And in that, also encourage support and collaboration in helping others to do so. ASEAN as a bloc is the third largest population, has the third largest population, and is the fifth, or fast becoming the fifth largest economy in the world. And in doing so, it is in no small part to the strong cooperation with Japan, and we look forward to more collaboration in the future. I'd like to highlight three things where we recognize the importance of the cooperation and welcome more in the future. First of all, it's the strong foundation of a Brunei-Japan collaboration, particularly through the PaSTI program. Through the Transparency Project, for Brunei, this was more than just capacity building. It was also relationship building, and it strengthened our national MRV system across the many sectors of energy, waste, IPPU, and AFOLU, and enhanced institutional readiness, and helped us align our reporting with the enhanced transparency framework under the Paris Agreement. Japan's continued support has been instrumental in raising the overall quality and confidence in our submissions, not just for the NDC, but also for the BTR, which have strengthened our GST outcome. Secondly, at the ASEAN-Japan level, we truly value Japan's partnership in shaping the emerging ASEAN Climate Change Strategic Action Plan through IGES. This is a critical step for our region in creating a shared strategic direction on mitigation, adaptation, means of implementation, and importantly, transparency in doing so. Japan's technical inputs and forward-thinking and long-standing engagement have helped ensure that the plan is regionally aligned, grounded, but also aligned with the Paris Agreement and not just through this ACCEP program, but many others, such as through space and other committees and forums, and also trade agreements. And thirdly, we also appreciate Japan's collaboration through the upcoming ASEAN Center for Climate Change. Brunei, as the host country, sees firsthand how Japan's support accelerates the center's early work from the knowledge services to capacity building, and soon more analytical functions, such as what was captured before in terms of scenario modeling and many others. The ACCC has tremendous potential in becoming a key node for regional cooperation, and Japan's partnership is helping us get there much faster. As we look ahead, ASEAN and Japan share a common goal: to raise ambition, strengthen implementation, not only in mitigation, but also in increasing adaptation and increasing resilience, and also to prepare our region for a far more effective contribution to the next GST cycle. Brunei stands ready to continue to support and work closely with all partners to translate our shared vision into practical, high-impact action. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much. That very insightful and powerful remarks from the representative from ASEAN member states. So then we'd like to proceed with the keynote speech on the Japan's initiative for ASEAN decarbonization. So it's my honor to invite Dr. Nomoto Takuya, Senior Negotiator, Office of Climate Change Negotiation and Cooperation, Minister of the Environment, Japan. So Dr. Nomoto, floor is yours.
So thank you very much. So today I'm very happy to have this seminar. And today I would like to talk about the ASEAN-Japan cooperation regarding the towards the GST to achieve the net zero target. Next page, please. Yes, thank you. So firstly, I'd like to talk about the framework. So we have the space, which was established by the ASEAN-Japan Ministerial Dialogue for Environment and Climate Change. And it was updated this September. And in this space initiative, this new cooperation has inputted. And at the same time, we also have the initiative of Asia Zero Emission Community, we call AZEC. And this is the summit level and also the ministerial level. So we would like to achieve the net zero target by ASEAN and Japan cooperation. Next page, please. So firstly, I would like to talk about the policy cooperation menu to achieve decarbonization society. So firstly, we have developed the NDC to achieve the, for example, net zero target or to reduce the GHG emission. And at the same time, the implementation is also very important. And we developed the Biennial Transparency Report, so-called BTR. And after that, we review globally global stock take every 5 years. And after that, we reflect the result of the global stock take to the next NDC. So this is a cycle to enhancement of the ambition based on the Paris Agreement. And Japan provided some cooperation in each factors. So for example, in NDC, some ASEAN member states already mentioned, but we have the AIM model. So to develop the NDC or long-term strategy. And at the same time, we also have the regulation cooperation to enhance the transparency of GHG emission for private sector. And with this cooperation is PaSTI, Partnership for Transparency for co-innovation. And at the same time, we also have the cooperation to develop the BTR, And this is a new collaborative cooperation we call CETA, Support Initiative for Transparency in Asia. So by using such a kind of cooperation, we would like to enhance the action, real action to reduce the GHG emission in Asian countries. And we would like to invite the decarbonization investment from other areas. And Japan also has the cooperation of the joint crediting mechanism, which is related to the Paris Agreement, Article 6. Next page, please. And so this is a new idea of the new cooperation of the to develop the global stocktake report. So in 2028, in the COP33, we have the second GST. So we would like to input our effort or our challenges or our best practices. So we would like to make the report together by ASEAN countries and Japan in 2027, 1 year before of the GST, second GST. And to develop this report, we would like to analyze our BTR or NDC or our regulation related with the climate change. And by thinking or by analyzing such a kind of cooperation, we would like to find the best practices or best way to achieve the net zero target in ASEAN countries and Japan. And by having the cooperation, maybe we can have the more benefit, and we can search for the how to invite the private sector's investment. So by analyzing such a kind of the report, we would like to find a way to economic growth and decarbonization society. Yes. So as some colleagues has already mentioned, but we would like to introduce our specific cooperation regarding the development of NDC or long-term strategies. So for example, we have the M model, and for example, Indonesia or Thailand has already used this model to develop this NDCs. And this can forecast how to reduce the GHG emissions in future, what kind of technology should be used, or what kind of measures is necessary. And we can pick up such a kind of knowledge, and we can forecast what come to be the volume of the GHG emissions. And not only Indonesia, Thailand, but also, for example, Vietnam or other municipality has already used this model. Next page, please. And regarding the PaSTI, so this is a partnership to strengthen transparency for co-innovation. And this is the measures to enhancement of the transparency of GHG emission for private sector. And by enhancing of the transparency for private sector, we can invite the investment, or it might be useful to develop the supply chain transparency. And some, for example, big global companies request to their supply chain to reduce the GHG emissions. So this information is very important. And at the same time, we also understand some ASEAN countries has already think about introducing the carbon pricing. So this data will be the basis of the carbon pricing. Next page, please. And regarding the contribution of the PaSTI, we developed, for example, roadmap or guideline for ASEAN. And I also understand Brunei has used this cooperation or measurement to develop the first BTR. And also, for example, Vietnam has already developed the new law of environmental protection. Next page, please. So this is the last slide, but so to develop the BTR, we also launched the new initiative, which is called CETA, Support Initiative for Transparency in Asia. And in this initiative, we have the several components. And one of them is the workshop of the greenhouse gas inventories in Asia. And it has a very long history. And we have the hands-on training course or mutual learning system. And I think some colleagues has already joined and we met together before. And at the same time, we also have the biennial transparency report bilateral cooperation between Cambodia and Laos. And at the same time, we also have the satellite data to check the quality of the inventories. So hopefully, by using such a kind of cooperation, we would like to conduct our measures, and we would like to learn together. And to develop this report, it is not only for Japan, but also the ASEAN countries has a strong ownership, and we will develop this report. So I'm so happy to have the presentation, and I'm so happy to have the kickoff event today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nomoto-san, for your presentation. So then we'd like to move to the next part. Now we'd like to hear the concrete examples of notable progress made this year in the development of long-term strategies and NDCs. So I'd like to invite Thailand, Indonesia, and Laos PDR. These countries have utilized the Asia-Pacific Integrated Model, AIM for short, with technical cooperation from Japan. First, it is my pleasure to invite Professor Bundit Limenchakchai, Thammasat University, to present the case of Thailand. So, Bundit Sensei, so floor is yours.
Good day, participants. My name is Bandit Nimmi Chokchai. Today, I would like to present application of a model in Thailand NDC and LTS. I'm from Thammasat University. I'm presenting on behalf of academic research, not the government. A model has been used in Thailand NDC and LTS since 2015, Paris Agreement year. We use a model to select the technology, and we also use computable general equivalent model of AIM to investigate the change in economic, such as GDP, welfare, and government consumption. The output from a model, in fact, we need to discuss with stakeholders. This is the flow diagram of internal process of Thailand NDC and LTS. Output from a model, we put to national consultation. That is the stakeholder discuss regarding technology selection, regarding the timeline of the technology, and also emission to achieve the target year of Paris Agreement. After we have concession forms, national consultation on stakeholder engagement, the Department of Climate Change and Environment as a focal point of Thailand they have their own internal process, such as the subcommittee, and finally, National Committee on Climate Change of Thailand approved before sending to the cabinet. Once the cabinet approved, the focal point submit to UNFCCC. We did aim training several times in Thailand, even before the COVID-19 pandemic. After COVID-19 pandemic last year, we did a short hand-on aim training for half a day with the support from MOEJ and IGS, including UNDP, Thammasat University, at DCCE or Focal Point Office. This year, we make the full course of training 3 days for Department of Climate Change and Environment. We also have to thank to MOEJ to support the trainer, also NAS to support a model, and UNDP to support the local expense of this training in Bangkok. We also have to thank Japan Embassy, Osawa-san, who coordinate and support this aim training in Thailand. Thailand NDC 2.0 use the BAU concept. That means we forecast that business as usual emission by the year 2030 will be 555 million tons. With our domestic or unconditional action, Thailand can achieve only 30%. So emission level will be only 385. And then with additional support or conditional NDC, Thailand can see the peak by 2025, and emission by the target year of the present NDC will be 330 million tons CO2 by the year 2030. This is the action plan of the current NDC, with 40% emission reduction, including 30% of unconditional and 10% of conditional. The Article 6 and JCM is outside this conditional NDC. However, Thailand just submit NDC 3.0 last 2 weeks. You can see from the website of UNFCCC. At this NDC 3.0, we use absolute emission reduction. The base year is 2019, and the target year is the target year that agree in 2035. You can see that this is the big change, because the base year is already fixed 2019, and the target year 2035. We forecast that we can reduce emission about 38.8%. This compared to emission source. If you look at Biennial Transparency Report of Thailand that submitted to UNFCCC last year, the BTR one of Thailand already showed that 1A1, this is any industry according to IPCC code. You can see that means power plant or the power sector already meet the peak. That means Thailand can achieve peak CO2 emission in the power generation due to the strong policy of renewable electricity and efficiency in energy sector. The emission now decreasing, but not enough and not all gases. In Thailand NDC 3.0 2035 target, Thailand say that Thailand aim to reduce net emission from the year 2019, which is equal to 287 million tons, to net emission of 152 million tons in the year 2035, which is equivalent to 47% compared to 2019 level. This target has been established in line with 1.5 degree pathway to achieve net zero emission by 2050. If you continue emission pathway after 2035, you can see that emission already meet net zero by 2050. We have public hearing this year for our internal process. This success comes from a lot of support especially from German GZ, from MOEJ, also Japan Embassy, Osama-san, also UNDP. The sectoral emission pathway you can download from Thailand NDC in UNFCCC website. You can see that net emission in the year 2019 is 287, and then net emission in the target year 2035 will be 152. In Thailand NDC in the UNFCCC website, you also will see investment plan that support the action in all sectors. However, energy, including transport sector, is the main sector for GST mitigation. Other sector, IPVU, agriculture, waste sector, they are hard to abate sector. As I mentioned, if Thailand could achieve NDC 2.0 of the present NDC by 2030, that emission will be reduced to 333 million tons. In NDC 3.0, the target year, if we can achieve net emission 152 or emission source 270 million tons, that emission pathway is exactly consistent with 1.5 degree on net zero 2050. So that means the present NDC of Thailand and NDC 3.0, they are very important that we must achieve so that net zero by 2050 will not be difficult. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Bundito Sensei, for your presentation. Sorry for the technical problem. Then I'd like to invite next presenter, Dr. Retono Gumilan Dewi, Assistant to the Special Advisor to the President of the Republic of Indonesia on Energy, to deliver her presentation. So, Retono-san, floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for inviting us in the important meeting. Yeah, as we know that as Indonesia just submitted the document of second NDC, and part of this document, there is a commitment for cement industry as a IPPU, industrial process and product use, but also from activity energy. So this afternoon, I would like to share National Decarbonization Roadmap Development for Indonesia cement industry, just released by the Ministry of Industry. Next, please. Why cement industry is important for decarbonization? First, is the contribution of cement industry, not only from IPPU, industrial process and production, there is the emission release during the clinkerization, but also from the utilization of energy. Because of we can see that the cement industry almost half release the GHG emission under industrial process and product use, but in energy sector, cement industry also contribute in energy consumed in industry. Next, please. Where emission come from in cement and concrete? First is calcination. It is the first that the biggest share of the emission comes from calcination processes, almost 60 until 65%, and fuel combustion is until 30%, but the rest is electricity and auxiliary, and also upstream and embodied cradle to gate. And during the supply chains stages, the pain point is not from the process itself, but also from extraction and from raw materials, manufacturing, distribution, sales, and market demand and use application. And today I would like to share how the pain point from manufacturing affected the carbon emission. Next, please. This is the process of cement industry. Start from raw material and then mix the raw material, grinding, and then preheated. And this part is a rotary kiln and produce clinker. In this rotary kiln, there is a CO2 release come from carbonate that is heated in the rotary kiln and they produce clinker. And we can also use additive so that we can reduce the utilization of clinker. It means we also can reduce the CO2 emission related to the use of energy and also to the use of carbonate. And then we disaggregate the emission into the scope 1. Scope 1 is directly in the manufacture, come from the fuel combustion and also from the IPPU. And scope 2 is indirect emission, is come from the electricity that is supplied by the third party. And the last is from biomass, because of cement industry now start to use biomass as an alternative fuel. And from this part, we can see that is a CO2 release during the raw material preparation from limestone and raw mix, iron sand and silica sand, and then preheater and raw material, and also under rotary kiln, and we can release CO2 from IPPU side. Next, please. And cement production, we see that there is a clinker factor from 81% until 0.680. It means we can reduce the utilization of virgin material. And from there, we can reduce the emission from fuel combustion and the clinker as well. And also we reduce the CO2 emission released from the heated from the carbonate as a IPPU. And we can see that the production of cement is increased significantly in line with the production of clinker. And now Indonesia also export clinker, so that our emission from clinker or IPPU also increased significantly. And we can see also in the left, in the bottom of the graph, we can see that the emission from scope 1, scope 2, and also scope 1 from IPPU. Compared to the scope 2, this is a small part of the emission, and scope 1 from energy and IPPU is quite high. Next, please. And this is why we focus on the decarbonization of cement from IPPU and also fossil fuel, because of during this process, we can reduce significantly the emission not only from IPPU but also from fuel combustion. Next, please. This is mitigation action. We select the low regret measures, alternative fuel and materials as clinker substitution, and also efficiency of energy and also efficiency of raw material, renewable energy, and also recarbonization. We include recarbonization here because of during the utilization of cement as a concrete and the building or in the other infrastructure, the process for absorption of the CO2 from the environment also can consider as a mitigation, because of the absorption is happen during the building still exists. We call this is recarbonization. And from efficiency and renewable and also the process itself, we have a lot of activity, but the main activity is kiln optimization. Reduce fuel use. Typical reduction is almost 10% of energy, waste heat recovery, and also clinker substitution, so that we can improve almost 10%. And supplementary cementitious material and also alternative fuel come from we replace the utilization of clinker by fly ash and slag. We can reduce the utilization of virgin material from 81% into almost 60%, then the potential for reducing for the IPPU. And calcination clay, local examples, and also we optimize the mix design, reduce cement content in concrete, material efficiency across the project. And the last is typical impact range, substitution of raw material, energy efficiency, also all fuel uptake, and increase and reduce combustion of the CO2 directly. Next, please. This is the decarbonization roadmap of Indonesia. When we choose the base year in 2019 until 2050, we can achieve the net zero emission with several activity. First is this is the baseline. From the baseline 2019, we projected until 2050, and we can see that there's the emission, the highest emission is 115 million ton of CO2. And then we select several activity like a reduce clinker factor, increase the TSR, also electricity efficiency. It should be noted electricity efficiency also supported by decarbonization in electricity grid, so that the emission reduction much higher. And then we use also solar PV and waste heat recovery and CCS and CCUS. And we use decarbonization as one of the mitigation. This is we can see that there's a good potential, and offset here still used to achieve 2050. And then the remaining of the CO2 itself must be zero if we can consider offset. Next, please. This is the activity mitigation if compared to the base year 2010 and also reference year 2019. So we can see that we lose the opportunity for the mitigation action. If we consider base year 2010, for example, like enhanced NDC, so we can see that the activity of mitigation can reduce significantly. But if we consider directly since 2019 is a base year, it means the reduction is much lower compared to the if we use the base year 2010. But for the second NDC, because of Indonesia now use reference years 2019, so that we can consider the base year is 2019. It means the activity mitigation before this year, it must be a current policy or business as usual. So that the activity of mitigation, we can see in the right side, is lower than compared to the base year in 2010. The biggest mitigation that we have to implement in cement industry to achieve 2050 as a net zero emission, then we need CCS and CCUS. Next, please. And this is marginal abatement costs, 2030 and 2050. We can see several emission reduction activity as I present in the previous slides. And then we can see that the biggest reduction is come from efficiency, energy, but the emission reduction is smaller. But if we consider CCS or CCUS, the emission reduction is much higher, but the mitigation action will need additional costs higher compared to the efficiency energy, so that the abatement costs increase significantly compared to if we consider energy efficiency or renewable energy. We can see that this CCS UCS will need abatement additional for the abatement cost $100 US per ton of CO2. Compare, we can see efficiency like a waste heat recovery or fuel switching, or also reduction of clinker factor, also energy efficiency. All this activity will not need additional cost, but can reduce the abatement cost. But for CCS US, we still have need higher costs. Next, please. Yeah, this is the parameter we use for the model, and then we can also result for additional cost for ton cement production. Next, please. This one, impact analysis of incremental cost for cement production due to we have to implement mitigation action. And how much is it? We can see that this incremental cost is in 2050 is almost 100% because of a net zero emission will need high cost for mitigation compared to 2030 because of we focus on the abatement cost. Also increase the cost of production. This is the parameter we use: production and actual production of actual cement and production of equivalent cement, clinker production, and also how much the cost for additive and cost reduction from clinker reduction. And then the revenue from treatment or utilization from non-hazardous waste will increase also almost $6.7 per ton. And for the total, we can have a total cost reduction is still $80 million. Okay, this is my conclusion for implementing for mitigation action in cement industry. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Leitono-san. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So then the next, finally, I'd like to once again invite Dr. Bonya Kampilaban from Laupedia for his presentation. So Bonya-san, floor is yours.
Yeah, again, good afternoon, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share what we have done under cooperation with the AIM team. Particularly, they have support us. Maybe next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, they have support us to update for non-energy sector for in this enhanced energy or energy 3.0. Because we have received the support from two teams. The AIM team, they contribute to analyze the energy non-energy sector, and another team, they apply the GAGMO for energy sector to, for example, here is agro sector, maybe similar to in case of Thailand. We also come up with the BAU scenario and also the countermeasure scenario, the target year is the year of 2035. However, the below one is for waste sector. Right now, we have done for final validation workshop for the fully of the NDC report. However, it take some time for our internal process, but particularly we preparing the report to government cabinet for endorsement. So hopefully we will submit to the University Secretariat by early next year. Next slide, please. Yeah, aside from the assistance to update our NDC, we also receive some, let's say, capacity building, but particularly for the first picture, they also invite us to join they say AIM International Workshop or annual AIM workshop that organized in Singapore, Japan. In this workshop, we have a good opportunity to make some network or say exchange some experience with AIM expert from all around the world. One of that is also Professor Bandit from Thailand. Also, we also have learned from them, particularly how the necessary or important of the AIM analysis to support the long-term decarbonization scenario. We also They also support us, particularly the photo below here, organized in Laos. More of the researcher or the particularly the expert researcher from university side help attend this workshop. So we try to build a capacity building, how to in order to how to say to do analysis by ourselves, because right now we received the analysis that only for subnational in Luang Prabang city. So we would like to extend more the area for low carbon scenario. Next slide, please. Yeah. Based on this slide, we just signed a MOU or MOC between Ministry and MOEJ in last September in Malaysia during the ASEAN Summit. This MOC is cover mainly to three areas: climate change, pollution control, and biodiversity as well. So we also looking forward for further cooperation with the AIM team, particularly to support the NDC and also for the adaptation part as well for the NAP. Yes, as I mentioned, they just finished the analysis for Luang Prabang city, so we're looking forward for further city as well to develop the decarbonization scenario. And for the next slide, please. Yeah, this is the case of the Luang Prabang. Even though we finished the analysis for the slow carbon scenario for Luang Prabang city, however, what we still facing some challenges because we still need the support to how to say to ask the Luang Prabang authority to consider to take this result analysis to into their long-term plan or strategy. Okay. This is what we would like to seeking for further working with AIM team as well. Yeah, because I have only about 7 minutes. Yeah, just only short presentation for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bonya-san, for your presentation. Once again, thank you very much to all the speakers for your valuable contributions. So to conclude today's seminar, may I once again invite Dr. Nomoto from MOEJ for deliver the closing remarks. So Nomoto-san, please.
So thank you very much to all participants, including those from ASEAN member states. Thank you very much for joining us today at the important event at Japan Pavilion. Today, Minister of the Environment Japan, Mr. Ishihara Hirotaka, announced Japan's initiative to address climate change 2025. Cooperation between ASEAN and Japan towards decarbonization is a key element of this initiative. Today marks the kickoff event for cooperation between ASEAN member states and Japan ahead of second global stocktake at COP30. It was confirmed that ASEAN and Japan will collaborate to prepare the report. Moreover, we heard about efforts or best practices in Thailand, Indonesia, and Laos to develop NDC's specific sector roadmap of cement and long-term strategies using AIM model. AIM is a very powerful policy tool for advancing each country's decarbonization policies, and I hope you will continue to utilize it going forward. Finally, let us join hands between Japan and ASEAN member states to advance our efforts towards decarbonization and economic growth at the same time as we work on preparing the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely appreciate your active participation and rich discussions throughout the seminar. We also wish to express our deep gratitude to everyone who joined us today, both online and then on-site, and to all those involved in the organization or operation of the Japan Pavilion. With this, we conclude today's seminar. Thank you very much.